games begin.
Welcome to the Sawyer Center, where SNU back at home, not only in the Sawyer Center, but in the top 10 in the country, as the Crimson Storm host the Rangers of Northwestern Oklahoma State tonight. Again, I'm Luke McConnell, joined alongside by Phil Younts. And Phil, the Storm won 7 in a row. They're back on top in the Great American Conference and playing some really good basketball right now. And yet there's still so much growth potential for the Storm the rest of the way.
Absolutely. As you said, playing some great basketball through the season. You could make the argument this might be some of the best basketball they've played to this point in the season, but still so much room to grow, so much more chemistry to gain through these last few games of the season. 8 games left of the regular season before you get into conference play. A lot of opportunity for this team to continue to mesh and really get going, I think, on the offensive side of the ball. That's where I think they could find the most growth in being able to work as a unit on the offensive side. Once they can do that, then they are going to be even more of a difficult outcome the GAC tournament.
And you mentioned the offense being a bit of a struggle at times. SNU, just from a pure analytics standpoint, always trying to go for about 0.98 points per possession. For those of you without analytics out there, it's just a way to measure efficiency, essentially. And that's been kind of a struggle on the offensive end in conference, not necessarily on the defensive end. But the biggest issue for SNU offensively is the three-point line. In conference play, they're 11th, shooting just 30% from the three-point line, and they're giving up 38% on defense, also 11th. And Phil, what's been the biggest issue there?
Oh, well, it is interesting seeing their struggles because they have multiple players capable of knocking down those three-point shots. Of course, Jonathan Dunn, he an incredible playmaker with the ball in his hands, able to create his own shot off the dribble from the three-point line. We see that. Micah Spate as well. And then players like Chris Stevens has been the best three-point shooter on this team throughout here. So it's kind of surprising to see them struggle as much as they have. But I think part of it comes down to at times just settling for those shots rather than letting those shots come to you. We see sometimes just kind of a dribble up to the line and take the shot, or one pass, take the shot, even when it's a contested three-point shot. So instead of letting the three-point shot come to them, they're trying to force that. I think that's one of the struggles. And on defense, I think a lot of it just comes down to failure to rotate over. We see some great help defense at times, but then you take the help, and then once the ball's kicked out, failing to rotate over and close out on shooters at the three-point line. That's what's hurt them on the defensive end from beyond the arc.
What has not been an issue for SNU of late has been the interior, as the return of Quaylen Newton has been big for SNU here since the calendar turned to January. Newton getting his endurance back as he continues to heal from that hip injury that kept him out of the first half of the season. Coach Adam Bohaj mentioned this week that Newton's getting his legs back under him, that endurance is improving. And also, senior Noah Starkey has been huge the last 4 games for SNU. He's 22 of his last 32 from the field with 24 free throw attempts, and he's coming off tying a career high at Henderson State last Thursday. He had 24 points and 14 rebounds, just a monster performance. In his last 4 games, he's averaging 16 points and 8.8 rebounds per game. And Coach Bohaj mentioned with these seniors that, time's starting to run out for them a little bit, and for some, they respond with that uptick in play.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been a huge boost for this team, the way Noah Starkey's been filling that. And again, I think part of that's going to come back and affect that three-point shooting as well. Once he continues to show his dominance in the interior, that's going to start to space out the floor a little bit and space out the defense. And they're going to start collapsing on him even more, giving shooters more room. So that just makes it so much easier on everybody else when you got players dominating the way he has, both offensively and defensively, of course, as he has all season, continuing to man that middle and making it so difficult on the opponents in the interior.
Again, SNU comes into tonight's matchup number 1 in the Great American Conference standings. They're at 12-2 in the conference. They're 19-3 overall, and as we mentioned earlier, back in the top 10 in the country for the season. Northwestern Oklahoma State, which dealt SNU their only conference loss a season ago, comes in just 3-11. They're tied for 10th in the conference. They're 5-15 overall. They've lost 3 in a row. And talking to some people around the program, it's just a team that just at this point just doesn't know how to close games. They've lost leads in the second half. They've gone to overtime 5 times and are just 1-4 in those games. So it's just been a struggle for Northwestern. And let's run through those starters for the Rangers. Number 3, A.J. Jones, a 6', 165 junior from Atlanta, Georgia. Number 10, Jack Peck, 6'4", redshirt sophomore from Littleton, Colorado. Number 12, Eric Andres, 6'5" forward. He's a redshirt junior from Denver, Colorado. Number 23, Bryshon Bryant, 6'6" junior from St. Albans, New York. And number 24, Cole Jones, 5'11" freshman from Pond Creek, Oklahoma. Pond Creek Hunter High School. For SNU, it's the same lineup they've been trotting out most of the season, at least since Quaylen Newton returned. Number 3, junior guard Micah Spate. He's averaging 13.9 points per game. He's number 3 in the conference in assists at 5.5. He's number 2 in steals at 1.9 per game. Number 15, Zach Johnson. He's averaging 3.9 points per game, and all the things that he does with his defense don't show up in the stat sheet, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. He just is a pest on defense. Makes life so difficult for anybody, whether he's on-ball defending or off-ball defending. He just he's a gym rat and will just follow you all over the court and make life so difficult. So he just does so much that you just don't see in that stat sheet.
Senior Quaylen Newton, 7 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game since he came back on January 3rd against Ouachita Baptist. And number 25, Jonathan Dunn, 18 points per game. He's number 7 in the conference in three-point makes and number 5 in scoring. He's in the top 10 also in free throw percentage and steals per game. And he went 12 of 13 from the free throw line at Ouachita Baptist last Saturday. And then manning the middle is number 32, senior Noah Starkey. He's averaging 14.9 points per game and 8 rebounds per game. He's number 1 in the conference in blocks, number 4 in rebounds, number 5 in field goal percentage at 58.1% from the field, and he's number 10 in scoring. We're all set to go here at the Sawyer Center. Thank you for joining us for SNU basketball. Starkey and Bryant in the middle, and Starkey wins that tip out to Micah Spate, and we are underway here with the Storm and the Rangers. And a quick foul is called on Northwestern State. That's going on Jack Peck, trying to stick with Jonathan Dunn, an unenviable task for anyone. And Peck's efforts are rewarded with a quick foul call.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a tall task for anyone trying to stick with Jonathan Dunn and slow him down. Oh, he continues to light it up as he'll take one right here. Can't knock it down.
Off the mark there. Dunn took advantage of the hard double by Peck on Starkey. The Rangers come away with it. Kick in the corner. Andres for 3 is off the mark, no good, and Starkey has the rebound.
A little bit of a break there for the Storm again, as we talked about, struggling with the three-point defense. Again, left someone open in the corner, but caught a break as they weren't able to capitalize.
Dunn in the corner, now guarded by Jones. Quick entry pass to Starkey, comes up short, gets the offensive rebound, puts it back up and in.
A great job by Starkey there. As soon as he shot the ball, realized it was going to be short, and just turned around quickly to try and find the ball, and it just fell in his lap. Great recovery, great finish.
2-0 SNU early. Jones gets it down low to Bryant. In the paint, blocked from behind by Newton. The foul call is going to go on Quaylen Newton, who has a chuckle with the referee about the call. So Bryshon Bryant will go to the line for 2 free throws. First one is up and good. Second one also good from Bryant, and we are tied at 2 here in the early going. Spate now Dunn up top. Knifes into the lane, and he is going to be fouled. He will go to the line for 2. And this one's going to go on number 3, A.J. Jones.
A good job by the Storm on that possession, being patient, and then Dunn finally maneuvering his way through the defense to draw the foul.
Dunn, an 80% free throw shooter, will go to the line for 2. Knocks down the first one. Northwestern without leading scorer Trayvon Andres tonight. The big loss for the Rangers. Dunn knocks down both free throws to give SNU a 4-2 lead. Bryant fading away from Starkey and gets the fadeaway to fall, and we're tied at 4.
Yeah, it's a nice job there by Bryant down low. That was a solid possession by the Crimson Storm, trapping Northwestern and making life difficult for them. Just better offense on that possession.
Spate has it knocked away by Jones. And Jones with it in the corner, guarded by Zach Johnson. Andres drives baseline, and he stepped on the baseline. Turnover, Northwestern. Great job by Quaylen Newton moving his feet and shutting off that baseline drive.
Absolutely, just as you said, great job being there with that help defense. So important for this Storm to be able to be there and play that help defense, and a great job cut off that baseline, nowhere for Andres to go.
Spate pulls the trigger for 3, and he knocks it down. Micah Spate went 6 of 8 from three-point range against Ouachita Baptist. 26 points for the junior from here in Oklahoma City, the Putnam City North graduate. But Coach Adam Bohach was quick to point out that as far as efficiency goes, Spate was 6 of 7 from 3 with shots within the offense, and his other three-point attempt came late in the shot clock where he was forced to just make something happen. 5 on the shot clock now as Bryant fades away baseline. It's rejected by Starkey. And he will, SNU maintains possession. Soft whistle there from one of the officials, but we play on as ball is deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, everyone was a little confused on that one with the soft whistle, but looked like they said to play on. Mike Spate tried to make a fancy pass out to the corner, but it got knocked away.
Spate inbounding on the baseline. Gets it into Dunn, goes behind the Starkey screen and knocks down the 3.
And back-to-back threes for the Storm. You love seeing that, just as we talked about. Been a struggle for the Storm hitting those balls from behind the arc. But back-to-back could be big for the Storm in this one.
Jones got in amongst the trees. Long lead pass ahead to Dunn, and he'll flush it home.
And just like that, 8-0 run for the Storm. Quick start. 12 points, all of a sudden 7 for Jonathan Dunn.
Timeout Rangers. It's a full timeout. We'll take timeout with them. 16:05. 13:05 to go first half. SNU with a 12-4 lead, courtesy of 7 quick points from Jonathan Dunn, who has been a little bit up and down as far as shooting goes. Cole Jones pulls the trigger for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Noah Starkey the rebound. And Jonathan Dunn has been kind of oscillating back and forth this year, Phil, between a great shooting night and then a so-so shooting night. And against Ouachita, went 12 of 13 from the free throw line as that three-pointer's off from Dunn.
Yeah, that's been one thing for Dunn is even whenever he struggles from the field, he still manages to find his points in different ways.
Great individual defensive play up top by Zach Johnson to get the steal. Missed the layup but was fouled on the attempt. That goes on number 5, Andrew Clopton. He's a freshman from Fresno, Texas. So Zach Johnson will go to the foul line where he is 72% so far this season. Knocks down the first one, and subs coming in for both squads. Number 2, David Thornton into the game for the Rangers, along with number 11, Bryce Cashman. And for your Crimson Storm, RJ Palmer into the game for the first time. RJ did not play against Ouachita, and minutes have been down a little bit with Quaylen Newton back and Ashton Charles getting a lot of minutes as well. So a good, solid 3-man rotation there at that 4 spot, with some limited minutes for all 3 at the 5 as well.
It certainly helps, though, having those quality guys down low, especially we've seen all of them at times have some trouble with fouls throughout the season. So having all those guys with valuable minutes under their belts can certainly help down the stretch.
A.J. Jones gets the long 2 to fall. It's 13-6 now, SNU leading. Jones with the deflection. Dunn got it back. Drives in. Smooth layup is no good, but R.J. Palmer there for the putback slam.
And that's what you love about Palmer, being aggressive on the offensive end, on the offensive glass. In that instance, throwing it down off the miss.
Noah Starkey finally with somebody to match him his height, as Bryce Cashman listed at 6'11" as well. 5 on the shot clock. Cole Jones got to go for 3. It's long. Cashman the offensive glass. A little bit of push in the back there on Palmer, no call. Cashman one-on-one with Starkey. Goes through him, is rejected by Starkey. Great defensive position there by the big fella for the Storm. Johnson, kick in the corner. Dunn fires up another 3. It's short. Again, Dunn off to a 1 of 4 start from 3-point range, but good looks within the flow of the offense. Certainly, they'll start falling eventually for Storm. Looked like a travel there from Clopton. No call. And the Rangers play on. Now just 10 on the shot clock. Elbow jumper for Thornton is no good. We got a whistle and a foul. It's going to go on Noah Starkey.
It's great defense by Palmer on that shot. Great job getting a hand in there, making it difficult to even see the basket on that jumper by David Thornton.
Jack Peck back into the game. Coleman Edwards into the game for the first time for the Storm, as Zach Johnson will take a seat. Thornton right into the chest of Palmer, who does not give an inch. 3-pointer is no good from Clopton, and Palmer with a big one-handed rebound there. Palmer with that lanky stride down the court. He's going to go right at Cashman and draws the foul. Good aggressive play there from Palmer.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking it for himself on the rebound, takes it up court himself, sees the defense slacking off a bit, aggressively takes it to the rim, earns himself a trip to the line.
Palmer having a terrific senior season. He's averaging 8 points per game and 4.7 rebounds per game. And he's number 9 in the conference in field goal percentage at 51.6%. Foul line's been another story. He's 55.4% so far this season. He goes 1 for 2 there. And SNU leads by 10, 16-6, 13-12 to go first half.
And you really got to give Palmer credit this season for stepping into a new role he wasn't expected early on with Quaylen Newton going out, stepping into that starting role and kind of filling a spot that he wasn't expected to coming into the season, and then now doing a nice job of finding a new role off the bench and trying to be that spark plug.
Peck, reverse layup, off the rim, no good. Palmer, another rebound. And again, Palmer pushing tempo, looking to be aggressive. Swing pass to Spate. Starkey's got good position on Thornton, and he stuffs it after the great entry pass from Palmer.
Absolutely great entry pass, and there was no chance. Once Starkey gets that position, you're not stopping him, and he'll throw it down.
The underrated thing about Starkey with his offensive positioning is how long his arms are. Can get you in a bad situation by just shielding you off, in addition to sealing you with the body. Jones, baseline, swings it around to Peck for three, is no good. Good box out from Starkey, and another rebound for the Storm. Northwestern just 2 of 11 to start this game. Spate gets trapped, finds Dunn up top. Dunn, hesitation move, gets Thornton biting on the fake, and he is fouled. That will be the 5th team foul on Northwestern, and that'll take us to a timeout. 11:53 to go first half. SNU firmly in control right now, 18-6 over the Rangers. We'll be right back after this.
Is on the fence about buying a car. We should
give him a hug.
No. Next.
Hand hug? Full frontal?
No. Guys, practice hugs are not necessary. You don't have to practice hugging.
How about we serenade them?
Well, I'd be happy to sing a song for you.
That's terrible.
Diffie, driven by family since 1950.
Spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th. The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center, where SNU has a 12-point lead here. 11:53 to go in the first half. Chris Stevens into the game for the first time, along with Ashton Charles. And Ashton Charles didn't score last week in his time on the court, but Coach Adam Bohaj has insisted pretty heavily that Charles is very close to breaking out, always as a guy he mentions as far as really turning the page and making strides in practice and things. And we've seen that a couple times, Phil, where Charles has had some really strong outings. He had one a couple weeks back against Arkansas Monticello.
Absolutely. We've seen that. And what you love about Charles is his confidence. He's never shy of pulling the trigger, and you love that confidence he has in his own abilities. And when you see that, you know that he's certainly, just as you said, going to keep making strides forward and going to continue being a really strong contributor for this squad.
A.J. Jones drive, draws the foul on Micah Spate. 3rd foul on SNU. We got an offensive foul going the other way against the Rangers. Going to get Clopton with the illegal screen there. A.J. Jones will take a seat. Cole Jones back into the game.
Fouls adding up quickly for the Rangers. That's already 6 team fouls. So another one will put the Storm in the bonus. We're still over 11 minutes to go here in the first half.
Straightaway 3 from Charles is no good. Palmer tried to save the tip out of bounds, but was unable to do so, and Northwestern will take over. Again, like you mentioned, Charles, quick to pull the trigger. Certainly will not be told he's gun shy.
That's absolutely correct, and he does have the height, which helps him a little bit too. Can shoot right over the top of just about anybody.
Andres kicks out to Peck, who knocks down the three from the right wing. SNU leads by 9. Coleman Edwards and Chris Stevens on the court now. Edwards came into tonight 8 of his last 15 from 3 after starting the season very poorly from deep. Missed his first 2 shots here. Clopton off with that one. Charles tips the rebound over to Palmer. It's already 4 rebounds for R.J. Palmer off the bench. Spade with a nice crossover in the lane and a teardrop from Evan.
That was pretty. Micah Spade, little crossover and then just puts it up. The teardrop falls in beautifully.
Clopton trying to drive on Edwards, who gets called for a little forearm action. Didn't look like much there. First for Edwards, 4th on the team. R.J. Palmer will check out. Strong minutes from Palmer off the bench. Noah Starkey back into the game. Bryant drives in, gets Starkey in the air, but Starkey came back down with it and was able to get the block. We've got a tie up on the court.
And
that will be Northwestern ball.
And Starkey there again, that just comes back to those long arms. He was in the air and on his way down, still able to get the block. That's just impressive wingspan, being able to get the block on a play like that.
The offensive foul called. It's going to be on Cole Jones with a moving screen there. Second moving screen call on the Rangers. So SNU leading by 11, 20-9. So we're at 9.5 minutes to go before halftime here. Edwards, long cross-court pass to Spate with a deep 3, and he knocked it down.
Spate confidently stepped into that one. As you said, a deep 3, but he was ready to fire away as soon as he made that catch. Stepped into it, knocked it down.
Peck trying to answer from deep. He missed it, but he was fouled on the 3-point attempt by Chris Stevens. So Jack Peck will go to the free throw line for 3 free throw attempts. Peck, the 3rd leading scorer on this Northwestern team at 12.1 points per game. Just a 65% free throw shooter. He is a 43.6% three-point shooter, and he misses the first free throw. Overall, as a team, Northwestern, a fairly poor free throw shooting team, just 64.8% this season. Peck hits the second one. Dunn and Johnson back in the game. Spate and Edwards will take a seat. Spade already with 8 points, 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3 to go along with an assist and a steal. So he's picking up right where he left off against Ouachita. Peck goes 2 for 3 from the line. The lead is 12 for the Crimson Storm at 23-11 as we tick down to 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Something we haven't seen too much from Northwestern. They do like to mix it up defensively. Stevens gets the cross-court pass from Starkey, and he knocks down another 3. Chris Stevens, 51.5% from 3 coming into tonight. Just 33 attempts so far, but that's 18 makes on 34 attempts this season, and Stevens continues to make the most of his opportunities. Junior from Rowlett, Texas.
Yeah, we talked about a couple weeks ago how he's seen his minutes decrease over the season, but he certainly is making the most of it when he gets his opportunity, knocking down the shot from behind the arc.
Cole Jones with a three-pointer at the end of the shot clock. Managed to get that one to fall. Good response there. That's going to be a hold inside on Bryshon Bryant. That'll send Noah Starkey to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Again, Starkey with good position inside. Ashton Charles will take a seat. Quaylen Newton back into the game. So Starkey at the line, shooting 1-and-1. He's at 72% this season. He knocks down the first one. Starkey already with 3 blocks and 5 boards here tonight. Second one's up and good as well. SNU doing plenty of good on the offensive end. 53% shooting. They're 4 of 9 from 3 and already have 8 free throw attempts. Just a single turnover as well. Cashman, quick move over the left shoulder is no good. Stevens gathers in the rebound and he'll bring it up for the Storm.
Yeah, that was a good move to get a nice shot over Starkey, but just couldn't capitalize.
Starkey gets in deep. 4 Rangers converge, and the ball trickles out to Jonathan Dunn, who lays it in for 2.
Yeah, nice little roll there for the Storm, and Dunn saw the ball kind of squirting loose. Made a beeline for it, and an easy 2 as a reward.
A.J. Jones gets Cashman on the dive, and that's going to be a foul. I believe that's going to go on Quaylen Newton. That's going to be his second. That will bring us to a timeout on the floor. 7:07 to go first half. SNU leading this one 30-14, doing lots of good work on the offensive end. We'll take timeout and be right back after this.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character. And then creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms. They create culture in churches. They create culture anywhere they go. Last but certainly not least, in fact I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Just a reminder, our next home game will come Saturday afternoon here at the Sawyer Center as the Crimson Storm take on Southeastern Oklahoma State. Tip-off for the men will be at 3 o'clock, right after the women finish up. We'll be on with pregame again right after the women's postgame show. Hope you'll tune in and join us if you can't make it out and support the Crimson Storm. Should be a terrific matchup. Again, the Crimson Storm got run off the court down in Durant back in December. Lost 76-43 in a game they shot less than 30%. Just not a good performance in any capacity for the Storm. Revenge will certainly be on SNU's mind when Southeastern comes calling on Saturday.
Absolutely, that's going to be a big one for the Storm. Expect them to come out fired up. Just as you said, they just could not buy a bucket in that game and just got ran off the floor. It was over by halftime.
Spate with the floater got decked, no call. Quaylen Newton with the offensive rebound. And he will go to the line for 2. The foul is going to go on Bryshon Bryant. That's his second foul, 9th team foul, so 2 free throws the rest of the way for the Crimson Storm.
At the line shooting 2, Quaylen Newton.
First one is up and good from Newton, who's shooting just 46.7% from the foul line this season. Always been a little bit of a area of struggle for him in his career. But you'd imagine certainly even more so coming off the hip injury and getting back in the swing of things. He does make both there, though, as SNU extends the lead to 32-14. Peck fires up a three. He's going to be fouled by Zach Johnson. Got in a little too close to the body, and it's the second time Jack Peck has been fouled on a three-point attempt. And he'll go to the line for 3 more free throws.
Yeah, that's tough. One of the things talked about in pregame was the lack of closing out on shooters for the Storm team, and they're trying to do that in this one, but just as you said, second time, closed out a little too hard and gave up 3 free throws.
Peck went 2 for 3 his first trip. He's hit the first 2 of this one. With 1 more coming. And he hits all 3. They get 32-17 SNU. Newton gets it into Zach Johnson, and he'll bring it up against Clopton. Northwestern hasn't thrown too many weird looks defensively. Johnson inside is rejected by Cashman. And Andres saves it inside to Clopton. Here comes A.J. Jones.
Yeah, great awareness there to keep that ball in bounds by both Andres and Clopton. Clopton just kind of reached his arm out and the ball was there.
Peck fires up a 3 in traffic. It's no good. Cashman tipped the rebound over to Clopton out of Starkey's hands. Clopton put it in for 2, and it's 32-19. Quick 5-0 burst for the Rangers. Dunn takes advantage of the over pursue and knocks down the long 2-point jumper.
Yeah, that's a big part of his game right there. The ability to just step in a few feet in front of the 3-point line and knock down that mid-range jumper. Jonathan Dunn, so dangerous from that spot.
Jones, or Cashman, excuse me. Good defense there by Quaylen Newton to force the miss. Cashman thought he was fouled, no call. Spate tries a 3 of his own, it's no good, and Clopton with good position gets the rebound in front of Noah Starkey. Clopton pushing, is blocked. Starkey is fouled on the rebound. I believe that is going to go on Bryce Cashman. Nope, it's number 12, Eric Andrus. Jack Peck will check out. Cole Jones back in. So Starkey will go to the line for 2 free throws. Going back to Jonathan Dunn and his mid-range game, you know, I would almost argue that his mid-range game is more effective than his three-point shooting at times.
Absolutely, that's what makes it him so good, is his ability to make that step in and knock down those shots, especially as we saw there, over pursuing by the defense, leaves him wide open, and he's going to make that shot more often than not whenever he's able to step in a few feet in front of that line and no one's there to challenge him.
Starkey checks out with 8 points and 7 rebounds and 3 blocks here in the first half. He's 4 for 4 from the foul line. SNU 10 of 12 from the free throw line. Northwestern just 25% from the field. They're 2 of 8 from 3. If they didn't have 7 of 10 from the foul line, they'd be in dire straits. Cashman goes through RJ Palmer and gets the nice hook shot off the rim and in. The lead is 15 for SNU, 36-21. Spate goes by Jones to the baseline, lost it, kick in the corner, Dunn, wide open for 3. It's a little long. A.J. Jones comes back the other way. And he's going to be fouled by Zach Johnson, who thought he reached in just fine and clean there. That's going to be his second foul, 8th team foul on the Storm.
Tough on both ends of the floor for the Storm right there. Micah Spate drive, looked like he was going to have an easy layup, but gets stripped right before he gets there, but still able to kick it out to a wide open Dunn in the corner. I still couldn't capitalize on that end. And on the other end, little foul is going to reward the Rangers with free throws.
A.J. Jones at the line, 65% free throw shooter this season. It's no good, and Dunn clears for SNU. Edwards checked into the game for Zach Johnson and those 2 fouls.
Into the game for Northwestern, number 10, Jack Peck.
I believe we've got a blood issue. A.J. Jones looks like he got a nosebleed over there, so Jack Peck will check into the game as officials stop play to get Jones off the court. Trainer over there checking with him right now. Dunn, fade away on the baseline. That's just so smooth.
Yeah, that is a pretty move there from Jonathan Dunn. Quick little step back. No way to defend that.
Elijah Parks into the game, 6'9" redshirt sophomore here in Oklahoma City. Putnam City North product. Judging by the timeline, I dare say a teammate of Micah Spates while he was there. And that rejection by Dunn out of bounds will bring us to a timeout on the court. 3:37 to go first half. SNU controlling this one, 38-21. SNU with the lead. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, guys, remember, no hard selling, no high pressure. Serenading, good. Leave that to Sheldon, all right? Hugs, side hugs. Normal. People don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. You know, these guys may not look like much, but they are some of the greatest guys.
How about a hug?
Diffie, driven by
Army Reserve soldiers use their skills to make the Army even more capable and gain the tools to make themselves even more successful. Learn how at GoArmyReserve.com.
SNU leading this one 38-21 with 3.5 minutes to go before halftime. SNU doing good things on both ends of the court there. Shooting 50% from the floor and holding Northwestern to just 27% from the field so far in this one. Northwestern inbounding on the baseline with 7 on the shot clock. Gets it in quickly to Thornton. Peck drives, harassed, knocked away, gets it back, and missed it off the glass. Newton flies in, tipped the rebound away from Elijah Parks, and Spate comes away with it. Spate pushing tempo. Kick in the corner for Dunn. Guarded by the smaller Jones. Now Spate will reset the offense up top. Little miscommunication there between Spate and Newton.
Yes, Spate thought that Newton was going to step out towards the perimeter. Newton was getting ready to roll towards the basket. Ball sails out of bounds.
As a coach, you kind of will take some of those, just guys trying to make a play as Starkey's back in for Newton. Parks going right at Starkey. Starkey an immovable wall there. Kick out to Jones for three is no good. Palmer another rebound. Palmer going right down the lane and throws it down.
The lane cleared out for R.J. Palmer. He was looking to pass and just looked up, and there was no one in front of him. Throws it down hard.
R.J. Palmer doing a lot of things in transition for the Storm in this one. Guarding the block against Thornton, who puts in the right-handed hook over top. Palmer will try a three. It's off the mark, no good. A little bit of feeling the confidence juices flowing there. Peck gets inside of Dunn. He's fouled on the drive. It's going to be on Jonathan Dunn. It's going to be 2 shots for Jack Peck. First foul on Dunn.
Yeah, I just said on the other end, maybe feeling the confidence after throwing it down. That was just his 9th three-point attempt on the season. So not really part of his game in that situation, but nonetheless, having a great game so far. Really playing a kind of a point-forward role so far in this one and doing a great job at that.
Cashman back into the game for Parks. Peck goes 1 for 2 at the line. Lead is 16 for SNU. They have led throughout. A couple early ties. And besides that, SNU controlling things completely. Starkey in deep, fouled by Thornton. And he will go to the line for 2 more free throw attempts where he's already 4 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, good entry pass again, and that was all that Northwestern could do to keep Starkey from throwing one down. We'll take the foul, send him to the line.
Which was up at very short for Starkey. Second foul on David Thornton. Second one is good for Starkey, who's up to 9 points now. Go along with 7 boards and 3 blocks. Peck hits Cashman on the roll, and he is fouled and will go to the line for 2. It's going to go against Palmer. That's going to be his first 10th team foul. First free throw is good for Cashman. 73% free throw shooter this season. 5.8 points per game and 2.5 rebounds per game for Cashman as he hits both. Hunter Frisbee into the game for the first time. Redshirt junior from Okarche. 6'6", 225. Frisbee elects to go with the Starkey gets deep and throws it down.
Again, a great entry pass from Coleman to Edwards. We've seen that multiple times from different players from the Storm as Starkey's just dominating down low, continuously getting in great position.
Frisbee, an extremely deep 3 is no good, but the long rebound comes to Peck, and Thornton takes advantage of the second chance opportunity and gets a 3-pointer to fall. And a timeout called by Adam Bohach. We'll keep it here as it's a 30-second timeout. And Phil, just an overall very efficient half for SNU. Just 2 turnovers, shooting 52% from the field and doing some good things on the defensive end as well, holding Northwestern to 30% shooting and just 3 of 11 from deep while forcing 5 turnovers of their own.
Absolutely. Just been a solid first half for the Storm. One of those games coming in against a Northwestern team towards the bottom in the GAC. Could always the opportunity to come in here and kind of fall flat facing what might appear to be a lesser opponent, but a great job by the Storm so far in this one, staying composed and just playing solid basketball, working together as a unit on the offensive side of the ball, and then continuing to make life difficult for Northwestern on the defensive side of the ball.
35 seconds to go first half. Micah Spate directing traffic up top. Lob inside from Edwards to Starkey, and Frisbee's going to be called for the foul. For a little bit of an undercut there. Frisbee electing to go with the high bun there as opposed to Starkey's choice of the low bun. Interesting choice there from Frisbee, guys. Which do you think is the better look for the man bun?
You know, I'm a low bun kind of guy, so I like what Starkey's got going on there. It just seems to flow a little bit better in my eyes.
Agreed. Starkey hits both free throws. SNU's lead up to 16. Starkey 7 of 8 from the free throw line in the first half. He's got 13. He and Dunn both with 13. Those are game highs. Frisbee will try another deep three. It's no good. And Dunn and Spate battling for the rebound, and it goes flying into the student section off both of them. So Northwestern will get the final chance. Frisbee will check out. Cashman back in. Inbounds pass stolen by Palmer, and he's wrapped up by David Thornton, and an intentional foul is called on David Thornton.
Yeah, great job by Palmer, leaping in the air, getting the one-handed steal, intercepting the pass. And that was going to be an easy two for the Storm on the other end, so they go for the foul, but the intentional foul is going to allow the Storm to add even more points on the board.
The third foul on Thornton, so Palmer will get 2 freebies here and then 2 other free throws for the actual foul. First one is good. Gets a couple bounces on the rim there and gets that one to fall. So Palmer now 3 of 4 from the line. Now SNU will get the last shot with 6.2 seconds on the clock. Edwards inbounding. Dunn sheds Clopton. Clopton looking up at the officials for a foul called. Spate, wing, Edwards, no. And that is how the first half will end. SNU leading this one 47-29. The Crimson Storm led from start to finish in the first half and controlled both ends of the court. Great half of basketball for SNU. They're coming off a 2-game win streak on the road this past weekend. So we'll take time out. When we come back, we'll have first half stats and analysis and a look ahead to the second half. Again, SNU leading this one 47-29 at the break. This is SNU basketball.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character. And then creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms. They create culture in churches. They create culture anywhere they go. Last but certainly not least, in fact I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Welcome back to halftime at the Sawyer Center as we get ready for the second half of action between the Crimson Storm and the Rangers. SNU leading this one 47-29 at the break as the teams make their way out onto the court to warm up for the second 20 minutes. And Phil, just a slow, dominant first half for the Crimson Storm. And like you said, it didn't feel necessarily like SNU was dominating, and then you look up and they were leading by double digits for most of that first 20 minutes.
Absolutely, just kind of a methodical first half for the Storm, just taking care of business. Overall, nothing too flashy, nothing too crazy, just doing their thing on the offensive end. As we talked about, 50% from the floor and shot 18 free throws in that first half, shooting 83%. Slowed down from three-point range after knocking down a few early on in the first half. But 47 points really shining on the offensive end in that first half, something we talked about they will need to improve on moving forward. But certainly didn't feel like they were dominating. They just kept taking care of business both ends of the court, possession by possession, and I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Bohach wanted to see from his team in this one.
On the other end of the court, SNU held Northwestern to just 28.6% shooting from three. They were just 3 of 12 from three-point range, and while they did go 10 of 15 from the foul line, Jack Peck by himself went 6 for 8, so a good defensive performance there in the first half as well for SNU. What was clicking on that particular end?
Well, something that we really saw from them was a great job playing help defense. We saw a couple of times Quaylen Newton do a great job of stepping in and taking away the baseline, and that's huge for the Storm team whenever they're able to do that. Of course, interior defense has been one of the strongest parts of the Storm team throughout this entire season. They continue to do a great job with that interior defense, having players like Newton and Starkey down low, and then, of course, R.J. Palmer doing a great job coming in off the bench in that role. And then taking away the three-point shot, huge for the Storm team, with the Rangers going only 3 of 12 for the first half. Being able to get a hand in the face of shooters, so important for the Storm. A couple of closeouts, of course. Came in a little too hard on the closeout, giving Peck those 3 attempts at the line a couple of different times. But other than that, great job just getting a hand in the face, closing out, and just making life difficult for this Ranger team.
Starkey and Dunn both with 13 to lead the way for the Crimson Storm. Micah Spate had 8 in the first half. R.J. Palmer, 7 points, 5 rebounds off the bench for SNU. For Northwestern, Jack Peck with 9 points. Again, that 6 of 8 showing from the foul line. He is their leading scorer for the Rangers. David Thornton with 5 points. Bryshawn Bryant had 4, along with Bryce Cashman. And then 3 points for Cole Jones, and then 2 points each for A.J. Jones and Andrew Clopton. So as we get ready for the second half, what's SNU need to do to wrap this one up and come away with a win here?
With an 18-point lead going into the second half, the main thing you want to do is just continue playing the way you have to this point. As I talked about before, very methodical on the offensive end, just being smart with the basketball. Only 2 turnovers in that first half. Huge for the Storm. If you're able to do that, you shouldn't have any problem closing this thing out. So just continuing to take care of the ball on the offensive end, and the points will come. And on the defensive end, just continue to keep playing that team defensive ball and helping each other out on drives and on rotations.
SNU with the ball to start the second half. Spate controlling it up top. Now Zach Johnson. Newton working around at the free throw line. Finds Spate open for 3, and he knocks it down. Micah Spate now 3 for 4 from three-point range in this one. That makes him 9 of 12 in the past 2 games from three-point range. So Spate perhaps finding a little bit of room there along the three-point line. Peck on the baseline jumper is no good. Newton with the rebound and pushing it for SNU.
Yeah, Spate really getting into a rhythm on the offensive end the last couple of games, and we're seeing that maybe not so much in the other parts of the stat sheet like we're used to seeing, but being able to knock down those shots, especially timely shots, so big for this Storm team.
Jones pulls the trigger for 3 in the corner and knocks it down. Kind of an odd loop-to-loop shot there as far as his take back and release. 50-32 SNU. Starkey is held inside by Eric Andres.
Yeah, we're seeing that multiple times in this one where Starkey gets great position and all the Rangers can do is turn around to foul to prevent the easy layup.
Newton on the inbounds pass goes high and puts it down, goes down hard due to the foul from Bryshon Bryant.
Impressive vertical there. And Quayla Newton going all the way up, and he just about threw that down with authority, just could not quite get enough to throw it down, but still strong enough to muscle it in with the foul.
In and out on the free throw attempt. But Newton still sending oohs and ahs through the crowd. That'll be something we'll look back on later in this one. Be sure to check out the SNU Twitter feed for a clip of that. Jones gets inside, floater off the glass, falls after it bounces off the rim.
Yeah, nice pump fake there to give himself the space for that floater. Has not been a lot of room for shooters for Northwestern in this one.
Spate, quick shot on the baseline is no good, and Peck coming back the other way, going all the way, is rejected at the rim by Starkey. Loose ball on the floor, and that's going to be a jump ball between Bryant and Johnson. Possession arrow gives it to the Rangers.
And that block was number 4 on the game for Noah Starkey, continuing to make his presence felt. Came into this one averaging a little over 2 blocks per game, as we talked about before leading the conference, and just continuing to add to that total here tonight.
Peck controls up top for Northwestern. We got an offensive foul here. So the change in possession will give it back to SNU. Cashman into the game for the Rangers. Starkey inside, missed it. Andres tips the rebound over to Jones, who hustles up the court. Stops at the elbow, and now Andrews on the baseline, trying to get inside of Newton. Righty hook shot is no good. Starkey the rebound, and Andrews gets tangled up for the foul. It's going to be the 3rd on Eric Andrews. Third team foul already for Northwestern, just 3 minutes into the second half.
The fouls were a problem for Northwestern in the first half. Getting into the bonus within the first 10 minutes of the first half of this game. We're seeing that continue to be a problem in the second.
Spate missed it. Starkey missed the putback dunk. Now Newton with it. Dunn will try a 3 from straight away. Well off the mark. Little sloppy offensive set there for the Storm. Jones pivots, gets it out to a wide open Andrews for 3. It's no good. And that's going to be an over the back call on Bryce Cashman. Good position there from Newton on the rebound. Second foul on Cashman. 4th team foul already for Northwestern. SNU yet to commit a foul here in the second half. Spate will bring it up as RJ Palmer gets set to check in for the Crimson Storm. Spate around the screen. Now hits the cutting Newton. He's fouled by Cashman. Missed the shot, but he will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, great aggressive play there. Finding yourself at the line. You like seeing that from Newton.
So Newton back to the free throw line where he is 2 of 3 today. First free throw is up and good. Breaks a 2.5-minute scoreless drought for the Storm. Cashman will check out with 3 fouls. Andrus also checking out with 3 fouls. Hunter Frisbee into the game along with David Thornton. Thornton also has 3 fouls. Newton short on that one. And the foul is going to go on Noah Starkey, battling Frisbee for the rebound. Not sure what the foul was there. It looked like Frisbee just had a good box out on Starkey, but okay. RJ Palmer into the game for Quaylen Newton. Jones gets inside of Zach Johnson, short on the jumper. Thornton with the offensive rebound, puts it back up. Wild, no good. Starkey clears for the Storm.
Yeah, getting a little sloppy, both teams here over the past few minutes, struggling to put the ball in the basket.
Done. Nice crossover on Frisbee, but airballed the jumper. And then another foul called on Noah Starkey on the rebound. That's going to be his 3rd foul, 2nd team foul, and that will lead us to a stoppage in play. 15:37 to go here at the Sawyer Center. SNU in control, 53-34 over Northwestern. We'll take timeout and be right back after this. Welcome back. SNU leading by 19 here.
Little Nerd Balls, courtesy of Christian Brothers Automotive. Thanks so much for your support.
As Noah Starkey will take a seat with 3 personal fouls. Pretty much the only thing that hasn't gone well for Starkey tonight. He's got 13 points and 10 rebounds now to go along with 3 blocks. Ashton Charles into the game for Starkey. A.J. Jones takes advantage of Charles into the game. Gets inside and scores, and he is fouled by Ashton Charles. 3rd team foul, just the first on Ashton Charles. So A.J. Jones will go to the line to complete the 3-point play the hard way.
And we're getting into that point of the game where the Storm really need to put the pressure on and try to close this one out. We've seen this throughout the Storm team, throughout the season, this kind of lull on offense. About this point of the game, we've seen it multiple times, building a big lead and then just kind of stalling out on offense.
Nice backdoor cut by Dunn, and he is met at the rim by Thornton.
Yeah, look to take some contact with the body, but no call. It's going to lead to the rejection.
And now Zach Johnson gets called for the foul, battling with Hunter Frisbee. That's his 3rd, 4th team foul. Coleman Edwards will come get Johnson quickly. Again, fouls stacking up both ways. Thornton pivots away from Charles. Hook shot's no good, and Jonathan Dunn clears. SNU, one of their last 9 from the field, one of their last 6 from three-point range. Just a single point in the last couple minutes. Spate drives baseline, floater over Frisbee is no good, and an offensive foul on Micah Spate.
Yeah, things just not going right for the Storm on the offensive end right now. Nice drive, but ends up not being able to hold up in time. The charge is drawn. That'll go against Micah Spate. And he wasn't going to finish that floater, but that was going to be a chance for a putback. But still, Storm kept off the scoreboard. Still sitting at just 6 points here in the second half.
I believe a warning was just issued to head coach Adam Bohach as well by one of the officials. Clearly did not agree with that call as Thornton gets down on the baseline and scores over Charles. Timeout SNU as the lead has been cut down to 14, 53-39. Northwestern in the midst of a 7-1 run to trim this lead down. We'll keep it here. And Phil, SNU, a little bit of a struggle right now on the offensive end. Terrific showing in the first half, but just 2 of 10 from the field here in the second half, and 1 of 3 from the foul line. What's been the main struggle for the Storm here in the second half?
They really just have not found good shots that they found in the first half. A lot of contested jumpers, a lot of shots that lack of ball movement, players trying to do it all on their own without moving the ball around. Again, not looking for the best shot for the team. It's really making life difficult for them on the offensive end, and they are really struggling to put the ball in the basket.
SNU a little bit of foul trouble as well. Starkey has 3. Zach Johnson also with 3. Jonathan Dunn with 13 points, but he's just 5 of 13 from the field and 1 of 6 from three-point range. So the up and down shooting for Dunn continues to be a bit of an issue for him. So we'll see if SNU's able to snap out of this little funk that they're in.
Yeah, we saw Jonathan Dunn early in this game. 7 quick points in the first just couple of minutes. Just 6 points since then. Really struggled, has yet to hit a 3 since he hit that first one in the first couple minutes of the game.
Little three-quarter court press from Northwestern, and looks like a zone defense here. Maybe a little triangle and 2. Dunn on the baseline. Missed it. Palmer goes high for the offensive rebound and gets it. Left-hand hook shot's no good, but he's fouled by Frisbee. R.J. Palmer, again, active on the inside. He'll go to the line for 2.
Long arms of Palmer, again, coming in handy on that rebound. We've seen that a few times. Skying for the rebound or towards the end of the first half, getting that steal, setting up opportunity for points at the end of the half. Just great play all around from R.J. Palmer here tonight.
Gets the first one to fall. And gets another friendly roll on the second one as well. That's 3 or 4 of Palmer's free throws that have hit the rim multiple times before dropping, so he's definitely got things cooking tonight. A.J. Jones drives right around the screen and gets the layup to fall. Spate quickly the other way for SNU.
SNU got a little lazy on that one, just letting him drive right by, no one stepping over to cut him off either.
Oh, no shot on the foul call. It's going to be on Thornton, though. That's going to be number 4 on David Thornton. And that is the 7th foul on Northwestern. With 13:42 to go in the game, SNU shooting free throws the rest of the way.
It's tough for Palmer not being able to get the shot and the opportunity at the three-point play. Continuation, not a factor here in college basketball, and couldn't quite convince the ref that he was going up when he was fouled.
Palmer gets the first one. He'll get one more. Second one did not get the friendly roll this time. It's Palmer 6 of 8 from the foul line tonight to go along with give him 10 points to go along with 6 rebounds. Jones fading in the corner for 3 is no good, and Palmer another rebound. All the way down the lane. That's going to be an and one. The blocking foul on Hunter Frisbee. And R.J. Palmer again. Third or fourth time we've seen him take it coast to coast and aggressively take it right to the rack for 2.
That's as you said, coast to coast. Seeing that multiple times tonight, running the point forward position, and they're just leaving the lane open for him. Nice little Euro step, finger roll finish. R.J. Palmer doing a little bit of everything for the Storm in this one.
Missed that free throw, though. A.J. Jones quickly back the other way. Already 8 team fouls for the Rangers. Jones lobs inside to Cashman, waits for traffic to clear. He's fouled by Palmer going up, and Cashman will shoot 2.
Personal foul against SNU. R.J. Palmer, his second personal. 6th team foul. At the line shooting 2, Bryce Cashman.
Free throw attempts 5 and 6 for Bryce Cashman. Cole Jones checks out. Jack Peck back into the game. Second foul on Palmer and the 16th foul, so Northwestern will shoot free throws the rest of the way now. Second free throw is up and good. Charles, the floater over Cashman's no good, gets his own miss, puts it back up off the glass and in.
Great job, Charles, there, getting his first 2 points of the game. Again, we see that aggressiveness, getting the ball and not hesitating to shoot. Missed the first one, but followed it up nicely. Aggressiveness rewards himself with a couple points.
Cashman with good position on Palmer. No backside help for Palmer as Cashman gets inside and dunks it home for 2. Edwards, great no-look pass to Palmer, who tried to put Cashman on a poster. Came up just short on the dunk, but he was fouled.
Yeah, great play there. Getting it over to Palmer. It was Edwards, as you said, no-look pass. Very pretty. Palmer just didn't quite have enough to throw it down. But again, getting plenty of looks at the line, and this one is Palmer.
First one's up and good. Charles and Dunn will check out. Chris Stevens and Noah Starkey back into the game for the Crimson Storm. Palmer now up to a game-high 13 points as well. And now he has a game-high 14 points. And in the aftermath, we've got a foul on Bryce Cashman, and that's going to be number 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there to warrant that foul against Cashman, number 5. But that's just going to lead.
Weird sequence of events there for sure. Looked like Cashman and Chris Stevens got into a little bit of a scuffle on the box out, even though Palmer made the free throw. But a little bit too much extracurricular activity there, and Stevens will now go to the line for 2. That's the 10th team foul for the Rangers. So buckle up, folks. We're going to be here for quite some time tonight. 10 team fouls already on the Rangers, 6 on SNU, so the next one will put the Rangers in the bonus. Still 12-16 to go in this one as Stevens misses that one off to the right.
That's what has allowed SNU to kind of keep the lead that about right where it is. Has been those free throws. Struggling on the offensive end, have been unable to shoot well this second half. Just 4 of 14, but 7 of 12 from the line.
Personal foul against SNU, number 13, Chris Stevens.
As now they'll foul on the other end, and the Rangers have found themselves in the bonus as well.
Stevens going over the back of Bryshawn Bryant. Not really sure why that's a why was that a 2-shot foul.
I'm not sure
It was
either.
an offensive rebound attempt.
And it looks
That was
like
not that was definitely not a shot attempt. That should be SN.
But it looks, I guess they're going to call it a shooting foul for some reason.
Yeah, there's no way that was a shot attempt.
And even Palmer was confused when he jumped up to grab the rebound. And it looks like they're going to.
Okay, good. The officials, as unconventional as it was, we're getting this right, I think.
As they still wait to talk it over.
So I think because of the indecision, we're going to call a jump ball and give the ball to Northwestern. So that's something new.
Yeah, that's a new one on me. And yep, they have changed the possession arrow to SNU now.
Good thing you can always call a jump ball if you're forgetful, as Peck knocks down the corner three-pointer.
And it certainly turned out well for the Rangers on that one, just as you said. Getting 3 points on a possession you should have ended with 0. But nonetheless, SNU still holds a 16-point lead.
And Starkey picks up the offensive foul, turning into Bryshawn Bryant. That's going to be number 4 on Noah Starkey. Now, Bryant did not really give him any space to do anything, so either way, that will take us to a stoppage and play. 11:31 to go in this one. SNU 63-47 over the Rangers. We'll be back after this. To the Sawyer Center. Couple scores of note here in Great American Conference action tonight. At the under 4 timeouts in both of these games, it's Henderson State 72-58 over Southern Arkansas. Southern Arkansas in a bit of a slide. They've lost 2 in a row, and this would make 3 in a row for the Mule Riders. And down in Durant, Southeastern, which we will see here at the Sawyer Center on Saturday, taking Oklahoma Baptist to the woodshed as Micah Spate takes it away. He'll take it coast to coast. He's fouled by A.J. Jones, and he gets it to go. What a play by Micah Spate.
Incredible athleticism.
He comes up a little hobbled. Not sure if he just tweaked an ankle or something, or if he slid into the stands down there on the end, but it looks to be okay. Flexing his arm a little bit. Dunn back into the game for Chris Stevens. But again, down in Durant, Southeastern under 4 timeout, leading Oklahoma Baptist 76-56. Southeastern started the season hot. They're just 8-6 in conference right now, but certainly a very capable team with a lot of talent. It should be an exciting matchup here between the Crimson Storm and Southeastern, and we hope you will join us here. But if you can't, we hope you join us over these same airwaves on Saturday afternoon as Jones gets the jumper to fall. SNU leads by 17.
And
both of those scores very good for SNU as Edwards knocks down the long 2 as Oklahoma Baptist a game back of SNU at 11-3 in the conference, and Southern Arkansas 2 games back. Of course, SNU holding tiebreakers over both of those right now by wins over both schools. So obviously a win here for SNU and losses by both of them as Jones travels. He slid his pivot foot a little bit. But again, big games there, big scores there if you're SNU and taking a peek down the standings and looking at clinching the number 1 seed sometime in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely. Looking at that, assuming SNU holds on to this one and those scores remain the same, all of a sudden they have a 2-game lead moving into the final 7 games of the regular season. Of course, anything can happen over those 7 games, but that could be huge for the Storm trying to clinch that number 1 seed and a regular season championship.
Clopton drives in. He traveled as well. Took another step before dishing off to Bryant. Clopton looking for an explanation from the official. Satisfied. SNU will bring it back as we're halfway through the second half, finally. SNU up by 19 as that pass is taken away by Bryant. Cross-court pass to Clopton, goes in, floats across the lane, missed everything but the backboard. Dunn comes away with it. Bodies everywhere for Northwestern. Lob ahead to Palmer. It's behind him and out of bounds.
SNU tried to get a little fancy there, get the crowd hyped up on that one, but Dunn left it well behind Palmer, and it falls out of bounds.
Brady Mulkey into the game for the first time tonight. He checks in for R.J. Palmer. Bryant with the long 2. Off the rim, no good. Johnson clears for SNU, and he'll push tempo. Dunn goes baseline. Gives it to Newton. Got his man in the air. Bounce pass corner. Johnson 3. Yes, sir. Zach Johnson, his first field goal of the game.
Yeah, nice.
Just his 6th 3-point make this season.
Yeah, it's not been a huge part of his game, but confidently knocks that one down, and a nice find there from Quaylen Newton, his 4th assist in the game.
Andrus responds with a 3-pointer of his own. Quick timeout for the Rangers. SNU leads this one by 19, 71-52. 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. Phil, SNU weathering the storm a little bit as far as hitting their last 4 of their last 5 field goals and kind of snapping out of that little mid-game funk. And what do you think is the biggest contributing factor to kind of those mid-game lulls that they seem to go through?
I think it just comes a little bit into complacency. We see it a lot when they've built these first half leads of any sort of double-digit lead, really. We've seen it from this team. And with that complacency that we've seen from them, they get into a little bit of a lull on offense, and the fact there's not a whole lot of off-ball movement. We see players kind of trying to do things on their own, and they might pass it around a little bit, but people aren't moving off the ball to get anything going on the offensive end. And so I think we've seen that a little bit from the Storm in the second half, but starting to wake up a little bit more, and we've seen them start knocking down shots because players are getting open and getting into position, allowing the Storm to run the offense that they're used to running.
SNU with 31 free throw attempts tonight. R.J. Palmer is 8 for 11 from the foul line himself. Of course, SNU against Ouachita on Saturday had 38 free throw attempts. And with Northwestern already at 10 team fouls for the second half and 8:40 to go in this one, you'd like to think at least if SNU continues to be aggressive going to the basket that they would eclipse 38 free throw attempts as well.
I certainly think that is within reach with the way this one is going. Already 13 free throws in the half, still 8.5 minutes to go. Again, you just want to keep running your offense as usual, even with this lead.
Zach Johnson with a nice bounce pass to Newton. And he gets undercut by Andrus. It's going to be number 4 on Eric Andrus. So Newton will go back to the foul line for 2 free throws and hits the first. And both of those scores are final. Henderson State and Southeastern with big wins over Southern Arkansas and Oklahoma Baptist. So SNU will be with a win here tonight. Will be an extra game up on the Bison and 2 games up on the Mule Riders, giving them a 2-game cushion on the Bison, 3 games on Southern Arkansas ahead of Saturday's clash with Southeastern. Bryant shut down by Mulkey and fires it out of bounds off the hands of Cole Jones. That will take us to a timeout on the court. 7:53 to go in this one. It's 73-52. SNU with a comfortable lead. We'll take timeout and be back after this.
This is where I use the skills I've learned. This is where the moments I love happen. This is where I grew up, and it's also where I serve.
In the U.S. Army Reserve, you train at least 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year. Here, you learn the skills to lead and succeed in life while staying close to home. Part-time service, full-time success. GoArmyReserve.com.
The Great American Conference Basketball Championship Tournament returns to the Bruin Fieldhouse in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, March 7th through the 10th. It's all on the line as the league's top teams battle for the conference title and an automatic spot in the NCAA Division II Basketball Regionals. For ticket information and to follow GAC basketball throughout the season, visit GreatAmericanConference.com. The GAC Basketball Tournament, March 7th through the 10th.
SNU firmly in control here at the Sawyer Center. And again, a reminder, our next broadcast will come to you on Saturday as SNU plays Southeastern Oklahoma State here on campus. 1 o'clock tip time for the girls, 3 o'clock tip time for the guys. We'll be on air with pregame at 12:45. Hope you join us here at the Sawyer Center for what should be an exciting day of basketball. But if not, we'll have full coverage for you here, as we'll have all season long, the rest of the way. Again, this is the beginning of a 6-game homestand for the Crimson Storm. Johnson, free to fire from 3, missed it. Newton, the offensive rebound, going inside on Frisbee, puts it up and in. Quaylen Newton, looking like the Quaylen Newton of old out there right now, Phil.
Absolutely, got 9 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. Again, just doing a little bit of everything, being that team leader, playing some strong basketball.
Frisbee with a 3-pointer from the top of the key. That's his first make of the night, so score a point for the high man bun. See if Starkey and low man bun can respond here. Gets it inside, but he's fouled.
They go right back to him down low, trying to let him take on high bun, and he'll draw the foul.
Starkey will go to the line for 2. First one off the rim a couple times and no good. Starkey now 7 of 9 from the free throw line as SNU continues to pile up the free throw attempts. Now 25 of 34 for the game. Second one, again off the rim a couple times and off. SNU shooting 40% here in the second half, 45.8 for the game. Peck for 3, he's fouled by Dunn again.
And that's
the third time that Jack Peck has been fouled on a three-point attempt.
3 times. All of a sudden, he's going to have 11 free throw attempts in the game. 9 of them coming off of a jump shot. Just closing out a little too hard on Peck. You like that aggressiveness closing out, something they've struggled doing this season. But you got to do it under control. And they have yet to do that in this one.
Peck missed the second one of one more. That's the 9th team foul for SNU, so double bonus the rest of the way for the Rangers. Peck goes 2 for 3. Elijah Parks into the game for Eric Andres. Full court pressure now from the Rangers. SNU leads by 18 with 6:40 to play. Dunn drives, gets around Frisbee. Beautiful left-hand layup, and he puts it in.
Yeah, great job there with the offhand finger roll. Beautifully done there from Dunn, who's been quiet since early on in this one. But then now all of a sudden has a game-high 15 points.
First points of the second half, in fact, for Jonathan Dunn. Jones hits a diving Parks. He's bumped and fouled by Quaylen Newton, who laughs at the call. Official banters back with him. Always good when officials don't take themselves too seriously and can banter back with the players. Nothing's worse than an official that takes himself too seriously and will tee a guy up for that sort of response.
Yeah, but it's nice to see having a little fun, especially when Newton doesn't get mad about it, just laughs it off. Especially having a big lead like this, you just kind of let it go. That's exactly what it is. He does, as he'll check out for Ashton Charles.
Starkey clears the miss. 11 rebounds for Starkey. Charles, aggressive drive, just missed the right-hand layup as it spun off the rim, no good.
That was a strong play from Charles. You just put a little too much on that attempt.
Spate almost with the steal. And again, we go back to always talking about Ashton Charles' confidence and not being gun shy. That's something we haven't seen from him as far as putting the ball on the floor and driving to the hole. As now Micah Spate gets in the fouling a jump shooter action, hitting A.J. Jones on the elbow jumper. So Jones will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, just as you said, though, Ashton Charles certainly has not been gun shy from deep, but has not been super aggressive and putting his head down and driving towards the basket as we just saw in that moment. So that's part of his game that you really want to see him work on. And just as he did, you don't want him to shy away from those moments, but continue to be aggressive and try to draw those fouls and find yourself at the line, especially in a game like this whenever lots of fouls are being called.
Jones missed both. Zach Johnson ahead of the pack missed it. Micah Spate gets the offensive rebound and puts it back in.
Good job following the play. Never want to assume that something's going to be an easy layup. Good job being right there to put it back in.
Peck for 3. That's long, and Spate has the rebound for SNU. 5 minutes to play here at the Sawyer Center. SNU leading by 21, 79-58. Charles, straight away for three. In and out, no good. He tracks down his own miss, gets inside, and lays it in.
Great job. Charles stuck with it. Rebound again, as we saw, just straight to the basket for an easy two.
The timeout, Northwestern. 4:38 to go in this one. See if this is a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it here. Charles looked like on that last layup he wanted to dunk it, but realized he had jumped from a little too far out to dunk it and just had to lay it home.
Yeah, he wanted to put on a show on that one, but just as you said, got a little too antsy on that one, getting ready to throw it down, but good adjustment there, being ready to just take the easy two that's right in front of you.
SNU up to 81 points, which is they rattled off 86 on Saturday against Ouachita, and that was the first time they'd scored 80 plus in a couple weeks. Their last one was 85 against Harding before Saturday. So now back-to-back 80-plus point performances for the Crimson Storm, and really it's been the foul line that's allowed them to be as efficient. You know, they're shooting 46% from the field. They're just 6 of 18 from three, though, but 25 of 35 from the foul line.
Yeah, those fouls, both teams getting plenty of opportunities at the line. Even 26 for Northwestern on the other side. So a lot of whistles being blown in this one. But good job from the Storm of recognizing whistles are being blown and being aggressive to get to the basket and force the ref's hands into making those calls.
Spate forces the air ball from Jones there, which leads to a shot clock violation. Deep three straight away from Spate is no good. Not a good shot early in the shot clock there. Cole Jones with it, bounce pass down to Thornton, working on Charles. He fades and hits the soft floater over Ashton Charles. Thornton now up to 9 points off the bench. Dunn pulls the trigger for three and gets one to go.
He had missed his last 5 from behind the arc, but a nice one there from Dunn. Confident stroke. Pushes the lead to 24.
So 30-second timeout called by SNU, and we'll keep it right here for a moment. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a full timeout, so we'll take timeout too. 3:32 to go in this one. SNU up 24 over the Rangers. We'll be back after this.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question, what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character. And then creating culture. Certainly when we graduate students, they go out and they create culture in classrooms. They create culture in churches. They create culture anywhere they go. Last but certainly not least, in fact I would put it first, and that is serving Christ. I like the fact that it's last because it does undergird everything that we do. Our responsibility, I believe more than anything else, is to serve our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
3:32 to go in this one. SNU up comfortably 84-60 over the Rangers. Northwestern Oklahoma State. Peck fires a three-pointer long. Morris Wilson into the game for the first time tonight, and the first time in a couple games that the freshman from Northwest Classen High School has appeared. He gets the rebound. Nice bounce pass from Charles to Mulkey on the baseline. Stevens drives in, leaves it off for Mulkey, puts it up and in.
Great ball movement there. Second unit getting some action, and great job working together, keeping the ball moving on that possession. That's exactly what you want to see from your offense. You like seeing that from this second unit.
Another foul called here. That's going to go against Brady Mulkey. His first, and 2 free throws coming up for David Thornton. Thornton, a 66.7% free throw shooter this season. In and out on the first one. Missed them both. Thornton transferred to Northwestern from Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, originally from Aurora, Colorado. Edwards with a deep three, and he knocked it down.
Yeah, that was a few feet beyond that, beyond the arch, but he just pulls up as the defense sagged off. Impressive shot there, Coleman Edwards.
Offensive foul called on Jack Peck for the moving screen. It's Edwards' first three-pointer of the night. Again, he came into tonight 8 of his last 15 from 3 after a really rough start to the season shooting the ball. As we look down the stretch of the season, Phil, roles are being really carved out, rotations are tightening, and how big is it for guys like Edwards to be coming alive?
No, that's so big, having guys like Edwards be able to do that, be able to come off the bench and find his role within the team, find what he can do to impact this team with the minutes that he's given. And, you know, when you come down the stretch and all of a sudden you're finally starting to hit your shot, that's so big for the team, knowing that, you know, I've struggled, but I'm at the point now. As Morris throws it down, but knowing that I'm at the point now where I have the ability to knock down these shots in big moments for my team. Someone like that, or really anybody coming off this bench, you get these moments like this where you have the opportunity to gain that confidence to make the impact.
Air ball from Cole Jones there as we're down around a minute to go. Where SNU is up to a 33-point lead. It's a 12-0 run for the Storm here with this second unit. Edwards working on Cole Jones. Step back three. Yes, sir. And Coleman Edwards making things happen with 8 quick points. Gives him 10 off the bench. And he becomes the 5th player in double figures for the Storm. Quaylen Newton also has 9. Peck gets inside of Morris Wilson, does not get the call or the shot to fall. Mulkey picks up his dribble, but Edwards there to bail him out.
Yeah, especially
Edwards will back it out.
Seeing Coleman Edwards like this, especially big for this unit, knowing just that he can be that guy off the bench that leads the bench unit and could be a playmaker for the team. He's not just a role player, but he can be a playmaker for that unit. So big for the Storm.
SNU going to come up a deuce shy of the century mark tonight as final seconds tick off here as SNU. They will take this one 98-60 over Northwestern Oklahoma State. Phil, just a dominating performance. SNU closing on a 17-0 run to wrap this one up. Just a great performance on both ends of the court for the Crimson Storm tonight.
Absolutely, just well played by the Storm. Just as you said, on both ends. You know, we talked about early in the second half that lull, struggling on offense, but then all of a sudden you look up into the second half and the team shot 53% from the field and 5 for 9 from deep in the second half. They actually had a better offensive output in the second half than they did in the first half, and a lot of that, of course, was sparked by that second unit and their 17-0 run at the end. But that's exactly what you want to see. You're going to have times in the game where your offense struggles. It's just bound to happen no matter what game you're playing, no matter who you're playing. Shots aren't going to be falling. but seeing this team not let that affect them and continue to play strong defense on one end of the court and come back on the other end knowing that eventually these shots are going to fall and we are going to be able to build on this lead. That's big for this team, and that's just going to allow them to have so much more confidence moving forward, especially this weekend against Southeastern.
Another big stat for SNU tonight, just 6 turnovers. Only forced 12 as well, but 6 turnovers for the Crimson Storm tonight. One of their best numbers of the season, no doubt, and certainly gave them plenty of opportunity to get off good shots and take care of the ball on their end. Running through the final stats real quick here. SNU 51.6% from the field. They shot 41% from three-point range, 9 of 22. 25 of 35 from the free throw line. Starkey and Palmer both with double-digit free throw attempts. And again, 5 players in double figures, led by Jonathan Dunn's 18 points. Micah Spate had 16 points. R.J. Palmer with 14 points and 7 rebounds off the bench. Noah Starkey a double-double of 13 points, 11 rebounds. He also had 3 blocks. Coleman Edwards, solid showing in the last few minutes of the game with 10 points. Chris Stevens, Ashton Charles, 6 points apiece. Quaylen Newton, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Zach Johnson with 4 points, and Brady Mulkey with 2 points as well. For Northwestern, they shot just 34% from the field, 7 of 22 from three-point range, and were 15 of 28 from the foul line. Again, 12 turnovers for the Rangers and just 8 assists on 19 made baskets. SNU with 16 assists on their 32 made baskets. SNU dominated points in the paint, 40-16, and points off turnovers. SNU took full advantage of those 12 turnovers, turning that into 18 points. Jack Peck led the way with 14 points. He also had 10 rebounds. He was just 2 of 12 from the field, but 8 of 11 from the foul line, courtesy of 3 fouls on 3-point attempts. A.J. Jones had 12 points, also led the team with 3 assists. Those are the only players in double figures for Northwestern. David Thornton had 9 points off the bench. Bryce Cashman had 7 points. And then a litany of players with 5 points or less, led by Cole Jones, 5 points, Bryshawn Bryant, 4 points, Eric Andrews, 3 points, Hunter Frisbee, 3 points, Andrew Clopton, 2 points, and Elijah Parks with 1 single point to round out the scoring for Northwestern. And Phil, like you mentioned, dominance on both ends of the court, and now an opportunity for a bit of redemption from being dominated at Southeastern back in December. You know that Coach Adam Bohach will never tell us it's a revenge game or anything like that, but you know all the players have had this one circled for some time.
Certainly, you know, you don't forget games like that. Games, especially when you're favored big and then you get blown out as if you were the underdog. That's just something that a player's not going to forget about. And so, just as you said, that's going to be a game that has certainly been circled by the players in that one, and they're going to come out ready to go. And in the end, it's just going to come down to making shots. That was the main part of the game last time, was the fact they couldn't make shots. I mean, the defense wasn't stellar, but, you know, giving up 76 points isn't the worst thing in the world, but certainly scoring 43 points, that's never going to get it done. So if you come out and just run your offense like they did tonight and just allow the offense to run through the players together as a unit, then they certainly should be able to take care of business on Saturday.
Again, the final here from the Sawyer Center, SNU 98-60. When we come back, we'll be joined by senior forward R.J. Palmer and head coach Adam Bohach, and we'll get their thoughts and reaction from tonight's big win. You're listening to SNU Basketball. And we're joined now by senior forward R.J. Palmer, 14 points and 7 rebounds off the bench for the Crimson Storm in their 98-60 win tonight. And R.J., you guys had a complete performance on both ends of the court and a big performance for you off the bench tonight.
Yeah, we've had a really good week of practice. I mean, the last couple of weeks just being really focused and locked in film sessions, individual workouts, even when we lift. So tonight we were able to really show that, and we played pretty well tonight.
Now, you were able personally to get out and transition a little bit and take advantage of some lackadaisical transition defense. Was it just kind of things that you saw on the court as you were bringing the ball up, or you just wanted to be aggressive?
Yeah, I kind of came into tonight just trying to be aggressive, but ultimately make the right play at the end of the day. And, sometimes things open up to where I can make more of a play, but at the end of the day, I just want to make the best play for the team. And tonight, it kind of just fell that way for me tonight.
What's the season been like for you? You start the season out in the starting lineup with Quaylen out for a little while, and then he comes back and you transition back to the role you've had for a couple years now. What's that been like, kind of adjusting back and forth with those roles?
It's been pretty good. Regardless, as long as I'm getting a chance, that's all I ask for, and that's all I just want to work for. So, I'm not really caught up in, the starting lineup or that sort of thing. I just want to contribute to the team, and as long as we continue to succeed and move forward in the right direction, the sky's the limit for this team. But yeah, I'm just excited to see how we keep building off this performance.
Now, you guys have Southeastern coming in on Saturday, and obviously you guys had a pretty unimpressive showing down there in December, and I'm sure your coach would never admit a revenge game, and I'm sure, have you guys had that kind of circled in your minds for some time now?
A little bit. It's been brought up a few times just amongst, us and, the players. But, yeah, we're very excited for Saturday, and we'll be ready. We've had a good week. We've been preparing pretty well, going hard in practice. So we plan to show and get some revenge this Saturday. But it's bigger than that too.
And speaking of bigger than that, it's your senior year. We're already into February. Time is ticking.
Yep.
How does that impact the urgency that you play with?
That's tough. It kind of I feel sometimes I feel that I feel pressure, this is the last. I only have in the regular season 10 or 8 to 10 games left. Sometimes I think about that, and it's kind of just it gets me excited, and it gets me just ready for practice the next day. And then each time I get to suit up and wear this uniform and go to battle with my teammates, it's so worth it. And I just remind myself to cherish the moment, good or bad game. It's a blessing.
Absolutely. RJ, thanks for your time tonight. And when we come back, we'll be joined by head coach Adam Bohach and get his thoughts on tonight's win. And we're joined now by head coach Adam Bohach. And, Coach, congrats on another big win for you guys and a really complete performance across the board there tonight.
Yeah, I thought so, Luke. There were some good moments and good stretches by lots of different guys, so that was great to see.
Now, especially with, I'm sure the numbers that stick out to you the most are, just 6 turnovers for you guys, and then, of course, 35 free throw attempts as well. What went into the aggressive nature that you guys were playing with on offense?
Yeah, I thought, that every game kind of takes on a flavor of how it's going to go. And tonight, it was a bunch of fouls and a lot of free throws. And we were the benefactor of that, to the tune of 35 of them. I thought we fouled a little too much, but, again, the game kind of took on that flavor.
How nice is it when you have such a balanced scoring attack? You had 5 guys in double figures, and then Quaylen had 9 as well. How big is that to have such balance across the board?
Yeah, I think your opening statement in terms of the 6 turnovers speaks to that. The ball was moving tonight, and the guys were really trying to make the right play and make a play for each other, and they're hard to guard when they do that.
Now looking ahead to Saturday, a great opportunity for you guys to atone for a performance I'm sure none of you guys were particularly proud of back in December. And what's going to go into coming out of here with a win on Saturday?
Yeah, we'll have to be a lot better than we were in December. They whooped us, Luke, outplayed us, outcoached us for sure, and we're tougher. And they popped us in the mouth, and we never fought back. I don't think one time, and none of us felt good about how we played that day. And that's the great thing about basketball is you get a bunch of chances. And so we've grown from there, and I know the guys will look forward to a good day of prep tomorrow and see if we can't put a better foot forward on Saturday.
As a coach, how do you manage the emotions that come with that? I mean, obviously you don't want to push necessarily the revenge angle per se, but how do you manage their emotions?
You don't want to be a revenge guy, Luke, because that means you have to lose before you can ever win, right? And we don't want that. We just want to be at our best. And Southeastern, to win, you're going to have to be at your best. They're hard to guard and are really dynamic and can really score the ball. And then they guarded us really well at their place. Their defense was much better than our offense, and their offense was much better than our defense. And that's why it was such a wide margin. And so, we'll have to be good, and you got to take care of it, and you got to run some good offense so they don't shake loose in transition. They have 5 guys who can all really score the ball, and their point guard does a great job of getting it to all of them. And so they definitely put some pressure on you that way. So we'll have to all be really good on both ends of the floor on Saturday.
Coach, congrats on another big win, and best of luck on Saturday. Again, Saturday, 1 o'clock is the start time for the women's game, 3 o'clock for the men against Southeastern Oklahoma State. We'll have pregame coverage starting at 12:45 p.m., and we hope you will join us then. Until then, this is Luke McConnell saying good night.